Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at EmuDeck, which is a community-made software for setting up emulation, basically from NES and Atari all the way up to Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, PS3. And essentially what this is for an ease of access to get emulation up and running on primarily handheld computers, but this also works for your actual desktop or laptop. With that out of the way, what we're going to do here is we are going to look up EmuDeck. I will have a link in the description here, emudeck.com. And what we're going to do from here is go to download. From there, we can use a Steam OS, Chimera OS, Linux, or Windows Beta. The Windows Beta just came out recently. It used to be a Patreon exclusive, but it is now in public release. So what you're going to want to do is click Windows for your ROG Ally, and you're going to get an emudeck.cmd. What we're going to do is open up our downloads folder, right click, and this is important, we want to run as administrator. Now, what it's going to do is load up all these settings, and it's going to come up with a detection saying slow DNS. What you're going to want to do is click yes, and what it's going to do is change one of the DNS servers to make things faster for the EmuDeck install. You just want to click yes, and after that, it's going to install WingNet as well as one or two other programs right from the Microsoft Store. It's not a big deal, everything is safe. For convenience sake, I have EmuDeck already open, so I'm not going to go through these steps here. But once you are done, you are going to have EmuDeck load up, and it's going to look something like this. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to want to go through, it'll have an easy install or an advanced install. I don't have that option, obviously, because I've already installed it. But easy install will essentially install every single emulator that it has to offer, as well as configure everything the way that it deems it should be. Now, if you are running an advanced install, you have the option to choose not only the directories and everything, but also what emulators you're running at any given time, and also if you want to run things right through Steam or a third-party app. So if we go into Manage Emulators, this is going to show you essentially what emulation options you have. Like I said, you have RetroArch, which goes all the way to like PlayStation 2, I believe, N64, PS1, all of that, PSP. But then we also have the GameCube Wii emulator Dolphin, Prime Hack, which is a Dolphin emulator sideload, which will be for the Metroid Prime collection. Basically giving it modern controls and extras. PSP emulators, PS1, DS, 3DS, PS2, PS3. These are Nintendo Switch emulators. Personally, I only use Yuzu. I have found that I don't have a whole lot of luck with Ryujinx, but in the last couple of months, it has really taken off. So I might consider giving this a try, but for now, Yuzu seems to be the most stable. XMU, which is for original Xbox. CMU is Wii U. The Steam ROM Manager is a big key part of this, and we'll get into that later, but essentially what it does is allows you to put games into your Steam library as non-Steam games with its own banner and pictures. So if you're in big picture mode or even just in your library, it will look like a legitimate game. Main launchers, PS Vita, we have Dreamcast emulators, Game Boy Advanced, Xenia, which is a Xbox 360 emulator, and then we have Emulation Station and Pegasus, which are for emulation. It's like its own little program that shows like all of your games and everything just for emulation. Once you have these installed, though, what you can do is go into the Steam ROM Manager. By default, it'll try to open it up, but in my experience, I have found that I have to run everything as an administrator by right-clicking Run as Administrator to get Steam ROM Manager to actually open. So what we'll do here is once you have everything installed, if you don't get Steam ROM Manager installed, you can just simply exit out, open it back up as administrator, and run the Steam ROM Manager. This is a very slow program, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot that can be done about this, but you will find that this is one of the key components to owning EmuDeck. Now, yours probably won't look like this out of the box. Unfortunately, I have switched everything over to a more basic look. But as you can see here, we have toggle parsers. All of these parsers here are for different emulators and ROM files. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to click the ones that you want and don't want on and off. And as you can see here, when we make a EmuDeck installation, a new folder comes out called Emulation. Now, as you can see, I have almost 100 gigs of emulation stuff, but that's not what this video is about. Your BIOS files, you are going to put your random BIOS files in here for PS2, PS3, Nintendo Switch, anything else like that. As for your ROMs, it is going to create a huge ROM folder that is all alphabetical. And for instance, what we are going to do is, like, say I had a Switch game. I put my NSP or XCI files into here. I cannot give those out for the reason that Nintendo struck down my last channel into absolute oblivion. So I am sorry about that, but essentially what you're doing is drag and dropping all of your stuff. And then with all of this, it will go into Add Games, and we will click on Parse. Now, as you can see here, there is all of my games that are coming up. Now, for the most part, I don't like using the actual game cases. I like using the emulation only, and the reason for that is because if you open it up in Steam, it just looks I find that having too many of them can cause problems. So I like having everything just set up so there's only PCX2, CMU, Yuzu, etc. But after you're done and you are satisfied with everything by moving through, choosing the different ones that you want for your covers, banner portraits, your hero portraits, logos, and icons, you can actually click Save to Steam. Now that's going to go through and save every single one of these artwork banners and everything right directly to Steam. Once it's done, you can close all of this. And when we open up Steam, I'm going to show you guys right now. I believe it's going to load into picture mode. But here's where the magic happens here. Excuse my slow internet for a second. I am currently installing Gran Turismo 7 on PS5. But we'll go into the library, and as you can see, you have your Xbox controller support games, your all games list. You're currently installed. This is all nothing new. But then we get to the collections, and it will make a complete folder for you. As you can see, like I said before, I don't like using separate game icons. So I have it set up as emulation. And going to non-Steam, there is my non-Steam stuff. So I have Nintendo GameCube and Wii, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Wii U, all running on my system. So with that being said, that is how you set up EmuDeck. Very, very simple, very convenient. And upon opening everything, you will see it will give out a black box as a loading screen, because this is, again, primarily used for Steam Big Picture or like a handheld setting. Well, once this is loaded up, you'll see your emulators, your emulator running with all of your ROMs, and you can simply start up the games. And you are good to go because Steam Big Picture and its controller support are linked directly with EmuDeck, so there is No confusion, no problems, everything just kind of runs out of the box, easy enough. Now, in the case that there are things that don't run, like certain games aren't running properly, or there are potential problems, ways to fix this are as easy as going into your actual settings for your emulator and fixing them up as you see fit per game. But yeah, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Take care.